Picture this. You wake up, check your bank account. Nothing changed. You worked all week, played by the rules, showed up early, stayed late, and the number barely moved. Meanwhile, someone you know, someone lazier, someone less qualified, just closed a deal that changed their life. You tell yourself it's luck, it's timing, it's connections. But deep down, you feel it, the sickness in your stomach, the quiet rage, the truth you don't want to face. You're being played, and the game isn't what you thought it was. Money doesn't care about fairness. It doesn't reward hard work. It doesn't flow to the most talented, the most educated, or the most deserving. Money obeys power, and power obeys those who understand the rules no one taught you. Machiavelli said it 500 years ago. The one who knows the game controls the board. The one who refuses to see it becomes a pawn. You've been a pawn. That ends today, because what I'm about to show you isn't motivational fluff. It's not a mindset trick. It's the architecture of wealth, the cold mechanics of how money flows from the naive to the strategic, from the emotional to the calculated, from you to them. And if you're ready to stop being prey, if you're done watching others eat while you starve, drop this in the comments right now. I'm done being prey. Say it. Lock it in. Because once you see what I'm about to show you, there's no going back. Let's begin. You think you're a good person, honest, hardworking, fair, and that's exactly why you're broke. Because every one of those qualities, the ones your parents praised, the ones your teachers rewarded, the ones society told you were virtues, they're weights, anchors. Chains keep you at the bottom while others rise. You were taught a lie. Work hard and you'll succeed. Be honest and you'll be rewarded. Treat people fairly and fairness will return to you. Beautiful lies, comfortable lies, and you bought every single one. Here's what actually happens. You work hard. Someone above you takes credit. You stay honest. Someone else lies and wins the contract. You treat people fairly. They see weakness and extract everything you've got. The system isn't broken. It's working exactly as designed. It just wasn't intended for you. It was designed to keep you producing, consuming, and never accumulating, to keep you in motion but never in control. And the identity you built, the good employee, the reliable one, the honest grinder, that identity is a trap. Because while you were building a reputation for integrity, others were building leverage. While you were proving your worth through effort, they were proving their worth through results that didn't require effort. While you were being fair, they were being strategic. Think about the last promotion you didn't get. You deserved it. You worked harder than anyone, stayed later, took on extra projects, did everything right. And someone else got it. Someone who networked better, who positioned themselves better, who understood that visible results matter more than invisible effort. You thought merit would speak for itself. It doesn't. Strategy speaks. Positioning speaks. Narrative speaks. Your hard work, silent, invisible, unrewarded. Machiavelli understood this. He wrote that the man who wants to act virtuously in every way necessarily comes to grief among so many who are not virtuous. You're living proof of that principle. Your virtue is your vulnerability. Every time you choose fairness over advantage, you lose. Every time you choose transparency over strategy, you lose. Every time you choose hard work over leverage, you lose. And you keep losing because you're still clinging to an identity that doesn't serve you. The victim's identity. Not a victim like you're complaining. A victim like you're playing a game where you follow rules no one else follows. Where you handicap yourself with morality while others move freely. Where you wait for permission while they take what they want. That identity has to die. Right now. Not gradually, not eventually. Now. Because every day you spend as the honest grinder is another day someone else is compounding wealth while you're compounding effort. Effort doesn't compound, it depletes. You get tired, you burn out. You hit a ceiling, leverage compounds, strategy compounds, power compounds. The person with leverage works less and earns more. The person with a strategy makes one move that creates 10 outcomes. The person with power doesn't convince. They command. You need to become someone new, someone who sees the board, someone who understands that money is amoral. It doesn't care about your story, your struggle, your sacrifice. It flows to clarity, to leverage, to control, and the moment you stop being the person who works hard and start being the person who works smart, who moves strategically, who operates from a position of power instead of desperation, everything changes. This isn't about becoming evil. It's about becoming effective. It's about recognizing that the people eating aren't better than you. They're just playing a different game. And you've been playing checkers while they've been playing chess. The first move in chess, recognizing you're in a game at all. The second move, losing the identity that keeps you stuck. Stop being the honest one. Stop being the hard-working one. Stop being the fair one. Start being the one who wins. Even if you accept that fairness is a trap, even if you're ready to operate strategically, you'll still lose if you keep talking. Most people lose before they even start negotiating, before they even enter the room, before they even open their mouth. They lose because they can't shut up. You've done it. You're about to close a deal, you're negotiating a raise, you're in a sales call, and you talk, you fill the silence. You explain, you justify, you overshare, and every word you say hands power to the other side. Because while you're talking, they're gathering information, cataloging your needs, identifying your pressure points. Watching you reveal exactly how desperate you are, how uncertain you are, how badly you need this. Silence terrifies you. It feels awkward, uncomfortable, rude. So you break it. You offer concessions before they ask. You lower your price before they negotiate. You explain your position so thoroughly that they know exactly where to apply pressure, and you lose every single time. Here's what you don't understand. Silence is pressure, not the absence of pressure. Pressure itself. When you go silent, the other person has to fill the void. And when they fill it, they reveal, they expose their timeline, their constraints, their fear, their need. Silence forces the other side to negotiate against itself. Let me show you how this works. You're negotiating salary. You state your number. They pause. It feels like rejection. So you immediately say, "But I'm flexible," or "We can discuss that," or "I'm open to other compensation." You just lost. You moved your position without them saying a single word. Now, imagine you state your number. They pause. And you say nothing. You sit in that silence. Let it stretch. Let it become uncomfortable. And watch what happens. They start filling the space. "Well, that's higher than we anticipated. Let me see what I can do so we might be able to work something out." They moved. Not you. That's power. Think about the best negotiator you know. Watch how they operate. They speak less than everyone else in the room. They ask short questions. They make statements and then stop. They let others scramble to fill the gaps. They never explain. They never justify. They never defend. They state, then silence. And the room bends to them. Machiavelli said, "The lion cannot protect itself from traps, and the fox cannot defend itself from wolves. One must therefore be a fox to recognize traps, and a lion to frighten wolves." Silence is both. It's the fox move that lets you see what's hidden, and the lion moves that makes the other side uncomfortable enough to reveal it. But you've been trained against silence. You've been taught that communication is about filling space, that connection requires constant exchange, that silence is awkward and must be eliminated. That training keeps you weak because the person who can sit in silence, who can withhold, who can let the pressure build without flinching, controls the interaction. They control the information flow. They control the frame. They control the outcome. Your boss calls you in, tells you the budget is tight, implies your raise isn't happening. Most people immediately start negotiating down, start accepting less, start making it easy. What if you just sat there, silent? Let them sit in the discomfort of what they just said. Let them feel the weight of disappointing you. Watch how fast they start offering alternatives, bonuses, future promises, equity, anything to fill that silence and relieve the pressure. You didn't say a word, and you got more. So here's your first drill, starting today in every negotiation, every sales call, every difficult conversation. After you make your asks, shut up. Say your number, state your position, then stop. Let the silence stretch for 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 15. Watch how unbearable it becomes, and watch how the other person scrambles to fill it. Second drill. When someone makes you an offer, any offer, don't respond immediately. Pause. Count to 5 in your head. Then respond. Not because you're thinking, because you're training them to expect that you don't react impulsively, that you're not desperate, that you have options. Third drill. When someone asks you a question designed to extract information, answer with a question. They ask, "What's your current salary?" You ask, "What range did you have in mind for this role?" They ask, "When do you need this by?" You ask, "When were you hoping to move forward?" Redirect. Deflect. Make them show their hand first. Fourth drill. Practice comfortable silence in normal conversations. When someone finishes talking, wait 2 full seconds before responding. Let them sit in that gap. Most people will keep talking. They'll add information, qualifications, concessions, all because you didn't immediately fill the space. This feels manipulative. Good, it is. But so is every interaction where someone's trying to extract value from you. The difference is, they're doing it consciously, and you've been doing it unconsciously, against yourself. Silence isn't rude, it's strategic, it's not withholding, it's protecting. And the moment you start using it, you'll see how much power you've been giving away for free. Every word you don't say is leverage you keep. Every question you deflect is information they don't have. Every silence you hold is pressure they have to manage. Stop filling the void, let them drown in it. Because silence protects you from giving information away. But you're still leaking power every second through something worse. Your face, your body, your energy. You think you have a poker face, you don't. You think you're hard to read, you're not. Every emotion you feel broadcasts itself in micro-expressions, in posture shifts, in vocal tone changes that happen faster than conscious thought. And the people taking your money have learned to read you like a children's book. You get excited, your eyes widen, your pitch rises, they know you're hooked, they know they can push. You get nervous, your shoulders tighten, your voice wavers, they know you're desperate. They know they can lowball. You get angry, your jaw clenches, your face flushes, they know they got to you, they know you'll make a mistake. Every tell you give is a weapon in their hands, and you're giving them an arsenal. Here's what's happening. Your brain processes emotion faster than logic. When something threatens you, excites you, or angers you, your limbic system fires before your prefrontal cortex can regulate it. Your body reacts, your face reacts. And by the time you consciously decide to hide it, it's too late. The signal already went out. They already saw it, and they already adjusted their strategy to exploit it. Poker players call these tells. Negotiators call them leakage. Predators call them blood in the water. Because the moment they see you're emotionally invested, the moment they see you care too much, need too much, want too much, they own you. They know exactly how much pressure to apply, exactly when to push, exactly when to pull back and let you chase. You become predictable, and predictable people get fleeced. I watched this happen last week. Guy negotiating a contract, good offer on the table. The buyer mentions a competitor, just drops the name casually, and I watched this guy's face. The flash of panic, the micro-expression of fear, lasted half a second, but the buyer saw it, knew immediately he had leverage, started pulling back, reconsidering, creating urgency. And the guy folded, dropped his price by 15% in 10 minutes, all because of one facial flash he couldn't control. Machiavelli wrote, "Everyone sees what you appear to be, few experience what you really are. Your survival depends on controlling what they see, not what you feel, what they see. Because what you feel is irrelevant. What they perceive determines the outcome. If they perceive strength, they negotiate carefully. If they perceive weakness, they attack. If they perceive indifference, they chase. If they perceive need, they withhold. Every interaction is a perception battle, and you've been losing because you let your internal state dictate your external presentation. That ends now. Here's how you become unreadable. First, physical stillness. Most people move when they're emotional. They fidget when nervous. They lean forward when excited. They pull back when threatened. Your body is a broadcast system, and you need to shut it down. Practice sitting completely still during conversations. No nodding, no shifting, no micro-adjustments. Just stillness. It's uncomfortable at first. Your body wants to move, resist. The stiller you are, the less information you give. The less information you give, the more they have to guess. And when they're guessing, you're in control. Start small. Next meeting, sit still for 2 minutes. No movement except deliberate gestures. Notice how much effort it takes. Notice how your body fights you. That resistance is years of programming. Override it. Second, vocal calibration. Your voice betrays you constantly. Pitch rises when you're excited or nervous. Speed increases when you're anxious. Volume drops when you're uncertain. You need to flatten your vocal range. Speak at the same measured pace regardless of emotion. Keep your pitch consistent. Don't inflate at the end of sentences like you're asking permission. Don't rush through uncomfortable parts. Slow down. Lower your register. Sounds like you have all the time in the world. Because time pressure is theirs, not yours. Record yourself in your next negotiation. Play it back. Listen for the moments where your voice shifts. Where it speeds up, where does it get higher, where it trails off. Those are your tells. Eliminate them one by one. Third, facial control. This is the hardest. Your face wants to react to everything. Practice neutrality. Not cold, not warm, neutral. When someone makes an offer, your face should show nothing. When they apply pressure, nothing. When they reveal something valuable, nothing. Train this in the mirror. Say things that would normally make you react and watch your face stay flat. It feels robotic. That's the point. Robots don't leak information. Practice the dead face. No smile, no frown, no raised eyebrows, just true observation. Do this for 5 minutes a day. Say emotionally charged things to yourself. My offer was rejected. I just made $10,000. They're going with someone else. And keep your face completely still. Watch every muscle, correct every twitch. Fourth, strategic emotional display. Now that you can hide everything, you can choose what to show. This is where the real power is. You can fake excitement to make them think they hooked you, then pull back and reveal you were never that invested. You can fake anger to make them think they crossed a line, then use their scramble to apologize as leverage. You can fake indifference when you actually care deeply, making them chase you, offer more, and work harder for your approval. But none of this works if you can't control the default. You have to master the neutral state first, then you can weaponize the performance. Let them see only what serves you. Every day, practice this. Sit in front of a mirror for 5 minutes. Think about something that excites you, angers you, worries you. Watch your face. Correct every micro-expression until nothing shows. Do this until neutrality becomes your baseline. Until your face is a wall they can't read. Until the only emotions they see are the ones you choose to give them. Because the moment you become unreadable, you become dangerous. They can't predict you. They can't manipulate you. They can't use your emotions against you. And when they can't read you, they start making mistakes trying to. They offer more, hoping to see a reaction. They reveal information, hoping to gauge your position. They negotiate against themselves, trying to figure out what you want. Transparency is bankruptcy. Mystery is wealth. Stop broadcasting everything you feel and start controlling everything they see. This brings us to the principle that separates the perpetually broke from the quietly wealthy. Patience and leverage. 2 words, 2 concepts. And the reason you're still struggling while others glide. Let me tell you about 2 people, both talented, both hard-working, Both started with nothing. The first person sees an opportunity, gets excited, moves immediately, takes the first offer, accepts the first deal, launches the first version, rushes into every decision because urgency feels like ambition. 20 years later, they're still grinding, still hustling, still reacting, still broke. The second person sees the same opportunity, doesn't move, waits, watches, gathers information, builds positioning, let others make the first mistakes. Then, when the moment is perfect, when leverage is maximum, when risk is minimum, strike once. Hard, decisive. 20 years later, they're untouchable. The difference isn't talent, it's not work ethic, it's not even intelligence. It's patience, the ability to wait when every instinct screams to move, to withhold when every impulse demands action, to sit in discomfort while others panic into bad decisions. You don't have this. You're impulsive, reactive. You see an opportunity and lunge. You feel pressure and fold. You get an offer and take it before a better one appears. And this impulsivity is why you're broke. Because the market, the economy, and the game itself reward those who can wait, who can withhold, who can let pressure build while staying calm. Last month I watched two people bid on the same contract. The first person came in eager, responded immediately, showed excitement, offered competitive pricing right away, made it clear they wanted it. The second person took 3 days to respond, asked clarifying questions, showed mild interest, made the client work for their attention. Guess who won? The one who waited, the one who made themselves scarce. The client ended up offering better terms, faster payment, and more flexibility, all because one person had the patience to withhold, while the other person revealed desperation through speed. Machiavelli said it clearly. The wise man does at once what the fool does finally. You think that means act fast. It doesn't. It means act decisively when the time is right, not desperately when the pressure is high. Most people do everything backwards. They wait when they should act, and act when they should wait. They hesitate on easy decisions with low stakes, then rush into massive decisions with life-changing consequences because they can't sit in uncertainty. You need to reverse this. Wait on everything until you have leverage, until you have information, until you have positioning, then move fast, hard, and completely. But waiting alone isn't enough, because you can wait forever in a position that has no leverage and still end up with nothing. You need both, patience to wait for the right moment, and leverage to make that moment count. So what is leverage? Leverage is getting more output than input. It's making one move that creates 10 results. It's building something once that pays you forever. It's positioning yourself so that when you do move, the market has no choice but to respond. There are 3 types of leverage you need to build. First, system leverage. Stop trading time for money. Every hour you work for a paycheck is an hour you can't get back. Build systems that work without you. Automated income, recurring revenue, products that sell while you sleep, investments that compound while you live. This takes time to build. That's why you need patience. But once it's built, you have leverage. You can walk away and money still flows. You can say no to bad deals because you're not desperate. You can wait for perfect opportunities because you're not under pressure. Look at anyone truly wealthy. They're not working harder than you. They own systems, rental properties that generate income, businesses that run with managers, investment portfolios that compound, products that sell on autopilot. They built it once, it pays forever. That's system leverage. Second, ownership leverage. Stop working for someone else's dream. Every hour you're employed, you're building their leverage, not yours. Own equity, own assets, own the upside. If you're building something, make sure you own a piece of it. If you're in a company, negotiate equity. If you're creating value, capture it. Ownership is the difference between the wealthy. Rich people have income. Wealthy people have assets. Assets give you leverage. Income makes you dependent. The employee works for 40 years and retires with a pension. The owner works for 10 years and retires with assets that generate the pension passively. Same effort, different structure, different outcome. Third, network leverage. Your network is your net worth isn't a cliche. It's math. Every person in your network is a potential channel for opportunity, for capital, for information, for deals. But most people build networks wrong. They collect contacts. They network horizontally, grabbing everyone at their level. You need to network vertically, up and down. People above you who can pull you up. People below you who can execute your vision. People adjacent to you in different industries who can create crossover opportunities. And you need to build this network with patience. Don't rush in asking for favors. Don't pitch everyone you meet. Add value first, consistently, without asking for anything back. Build credit. Build reputation. Build trust. Then, when you need leverage, you have a network that moves for you. One introduction from the right person opens 10 doors. One recommendation from someone respected closes deals you couldn't close alone. One partnership with someone positioned above you elevates your entire brand. That's network leverage. But here's the trap. You build leverage, and the moment you have a little bit, you spend it. You get a small win and celebrate by buying something that depletes your resources. You build a little system and immediately stop because it feels like enough. You make one good connection and burn it by asking too early. Leverage isn't something you use, it's something you compound. Every piece of leverage you build should create more leverage. Every win should position you for a bigger win. Every move should make the next move easier. This requires brutal patience, sitting on leverage when you could spend it, waiting for the perfect moment when good moments keep appearing. Saying no to 80% of opportunities so you have capacity for the 100% opportunity. Most people can't do this. They're too impulsive, too reactive, too desperate for short-term validation. And that's why they stay broke while patient people get wealthy. I know someone who built a small consulting practice, started getting clients, making decent money, could have kept grinding, kept trading time for dollars, instead stopped taking new clients, spent 6 months building a course, templating everything, creating a system, launched it, now makes more in a month than the entire previous year. Same knowledge, different leverage. That's what patience plus system building creates. So here's your assignment. What will you withhold this month? What impulsive action will you stop? What bad deal will you walk away from? What opportunity will you let pass because it's not perfect? Drop it in the comments. What will you withhold this month? Say it. Lock it in. Because patience without action is just procrastination, and leverage without patience is just luck. You need both, and you need to practice both every single day until waiting becomes your default and positioning becomes your obsession. Now here's the deeper truth. Everything I just told you about patience and leverage, about silence and control, only works if you understand one final thing. The game isn't about reality, it's about perception. You can have all the leverage in the world, but if no one perceives it, it's worthless. You can be the smartest person in the room, but if they perceive you as weak, you lose. You can have the best product, but if the narrative around it is wrong, no one buys. Money doesn't flow to the best, it flows to the best story. And if you're not controlling the story, someone else is. Let me show you how this works. 2 products, identical quality, identical price. One fails, one sells 1 million units. Why? The story. One is positioned as a commodity. The other is positioned as a revolution. One is described with features, the other is described with a transformation. One sells a thing, the other sells an identity. Same product, different narrative, different outcome. 2 people, same skills, same experience. One gets hired at twice the salary. Why? The story. One walked in and listed qualifications. The other walked in and painted a vision of the problem they'd solve and the value they'd create. One sold labor, the other sold outcomes. Same person, different narrative, different result. This is what the powerful understand. and you don't. Reality is flexible. Perception is control, and the person who controls the narrative controls the outcome. Look at any major brand. Apple doesn't sell computers, they sell identity, status, belonging to the creative class. Tesla doesn't sell cars, they sell the future, innovation, environmental responsibility. Nike doesn't sell shoes, they sell athletic excellence, personal transformation. The product is the vehicle, the story is the sale, and you've been trying to sell products when you should be selling stories. Machiavelli knew this. He wrote, "Men judge generally more by the eye than by the hand, for everyone can see but few can feel. Everyone sees what you appear to be. Almost no one knows what you really are. Your job isn't to be the best, it's to be perceived as the best. Your job isn't to work the hardest, it's to be perceived as the most valuable. Your job isn't to have all the answers, it's to be perceived as the one who does. And you do this through narrative, through illusion, through substitution." Let me break these down. First, narrative. Every interaction, every pitch, every negotiation, you need a story. Not facts, not features, a story that positions you as the inevitable choice. The narrative has three parts: problem, agitation, solution. You identify a problem they didn't know they had, you agitate it until it feels urgent. Then you position yourself as the only solution. Example: you're pitching a service. Bad pitch: "I offer marketing services, 10 years of experience, and great rates." No narrative, no urgency, forgettable. Good pitch: "Most companies are bleeding money on ads that don't convert because they're optimizing for clicks instead of behavior." Every day you wait, your competitors are capturing customers you should own. I've built a system that turns cold traffic into lifetime buyers, and I can deploy it in 30 days. Same service, different narrative. One sounds like everyone else, the other sounds like the answer they've been searching for. The narrative creates urgency. It positions you as scarce. It makes inaction feel expensive. That's what stories do. They shift perception from optional to essential. Second, illusion. You need to construct an image that projects power even before you have it. This isn't lying, it's a strategic presentation. You're not hiding weakness, you're choosing what to emphasize. Your website, your appearance, your communication style, your environment, everything is a signal. And people are reading those signals constantly, unconsciously, making judgments about your value, your competence, your power. Most people present themselves as they are: honest, transparent, real, and they stay invisible. You need to present yourself as what you're becoming: confident, established, inevitable. This means controlling every detail. Your email signature isn't just your name, it's your title, your credentials, your authority markers. Founder, strategist, advisor, not an employee, not a freelancer, not looking for work. Your social media isn't random thoughts. It's a curated feed of competence, results, and strategic insights. Every post reinforces the perception that you know something others don't, that you're operating at a level above. Your pricing isn't what you think you're worth. It's what positions you in the market where you want to be. High pricing is an illusion signal. It tells people you're valuable before they even evaluate you. Low pricing signals desperation. If you're cheap, they assume you're not good. The illusion isn't about tricking people. It's about managing perception so they see your value before they have to discover it. People are lazy. They judge books by covers. They assess value through proxies. And if your proxies scream amateur, they'll never get close enough to discover your competence. Third, substitution. This is the ultimate leverage. Stop selling labor. Start selling ideas, systems, and narratives. Labor scales linearly. You work an hour, you get paid for an hour. Ideas scale infinitely. You create an idea once, and it pays forever. Systems scale exponentially. You build a system once, and it runs forever. Narratives scale virally. You plant a narrative, others dread it. Here's the shift. If you're a consultant, stop selling hours, sell frameworks. Package your expertise into a methodology with a name, a structure, a process. Now you're not selling time, you're selling a system. And systems command premium pricing because they feel proprietary. If you're in sales, stop selling products. Sell transformations. Don't tell them what it does. Tell them who they become after they buy it. Paint the identity shift, the status change. The problem has been eliminated. If you're negotiating, stop defending your position with logic. Sell the narrative of inevitability. Make it feel like choosing you isn't a decision. It's the obvious path forward. Everyone else is a risk. You're the certainty. This is substitution, replacing the commodity with the story, replacing labor with the system, replacing the transaction with the transformation. And the people who master this don't work harder, they work less, because they've built narratives that do the work for them. Here's how you start. Today, right now, rewrite how you talk about what you do. Strip out the features, strip out the process. Focus entirely on the outcome and the transformation. Then test it. Use it in your next pitch, your next conversation, your next email. Watch how differently people respond when you're selling a story instead of a service. Second, audit your illusion. Look at your online presence, your communication, and your presentation. Does it scream power, or does it whisper desperation? If you look like everyone else, you'll be treated like everyone else. Differentiate, elevate, control the perception before the interaction even starts. Third, build one system this quarter. One thing you do manually that you can templatize, automate, or package. Turn it into something you sell repeatedly without additional labor. That's substitution. That's leverage. That's how you stop trading time for money and start trading ideas for wealth. The person with the best story wins. The person with the best illusion commands the room. The person who substitutes labor for leverage builds wealth. Stop trying to be the most qualified and start becoming the most compelling. But knowing all of this means nothing if you don't understand the final operational layer, the ruthless mechanics of extraction and protection, because you can have narrative, leverage, patience, and silence, and still end up empty if you don't know how to extract value and then protect it. Most people are terrible at both. They create value and let others take it. They accumulate wins and then bleed them away through bad decisions, weak boundaries, and emotional impulses. Let me be clear. Extraction isn't evil. It's necessary. Every interaction is an exchange of value. The question is, are you extracting more than you're giving, or are you giving more than you're extracting? If you're not actively managing this balance, you're losing. Here's how extraction works. First, timing. Value extraction has a window. Too early, you're seen as greedy and the deal dies. Too late, the value is already distributed to others. You need to extract at the moment of maximum dependency, when they need you most, when alternatives are limited, when walking away would cost them more than paying you. This is why patience matters. You wait until they're committed, until they're invested, until switching costs are high. Then you extract, you renegotiate, you add fees, you introduce scarcity. And because they're already in, they pay. Think about software subscriptions. Free trial. You get hooked. You build workflows around it. You integrate it into your systems. Then the trial ends. And the price is higher than you expected. But you pay, because switching now costs more than paying. That's timed extraction. They waited until dependency was maximum. Second, attention. Your attention is your most valuable asset. You've been giving it away for free. Meetings that go nowhere. Calls that waste time. People who take and never give back. Every minute of your attention is a minute you're not building leverage. Start charging for it, not always with money, with reciprocity, with access, with value. If someone wants your time, they need to provide value first. Information, an introduction, a favor, something. No more free attention, no more open calendars, no more being available to everyone. Scarcity creates value. The harder you are to reach, the more valuable your attention becomes. And when you finally give it, They pay attention because they know it's limited. I started doing this 2 years ago. Stopped taking random coffee meetings. Stopped hopping on calls with everyone who asked. Required people to send a brief with specific questions before I met. Cut my meeting time by 70%. And the quality of interactions went up dramatically because the people who made it through were serious, prepared, valuable. Third, fear. This is uncomfortable, but fear is a tool, not manipulation, not cruelty. Strategic deployment of consequences. When people know there's no consequence to wasting their time, disrespecting their boundaries, or failing to deliver, they do all three. You need to establish that there are costs. Missed deadlines have consequences. Disrespect has consequences. Taking without giving has consequences. You don't have to be cruel. You just have to be consistent. When someone crosses a line, you pull back. You withdraw access. You stop being available. And you don't explain. You don't justify. You just change the dynamic. They feel the shift. And they adjust. Or they're gone. Either way, you win. But extraction without protection is pointless. Because the moment you accumulate value, everyone around you will try to take it. Some obviously. Most subtly. Here's how you protect what you've built. First, withholding. The more people know about what you have, the more they'll want a piece. Stop broadcasting your wins. Stop sharing your strategies. Stop explaining your moves. The moment you reveal your leverage, someone starts figuring out how to neutralize it. Operate quietly, build silently, win privately, let results speak, but don't explain how you got them. I know someone who built a 7-figure business in 18 months. Told no one, didn't post about it, didn't celebrate publicly, just built. By the time people noticed, the business was already scaled and defensible. No one could copy the early moves because the moment had passed. That's protection through withholding. Second, boundaries. Most people have no boundaries. They say yes to everything. They're available to everyone. They give endlessly and wonder why they're exhausted and broke. You need hard boundaries on your time, on your energy, on your resources, and you need to enforce them without guilt. When someone pushes, you push back, not aggressively, calmly, firmly. No is a complete sentence. I'm not available is a complete answer. That doesn't work for me needs no justification. The moment you start explaining your boundaries, you're negotiating them. And negotiable boundaries aren't boundaries. They're suggestions, weak suggestions that people will test constantly. Your boundary either you don't work weekends. Someone asks for weekend work. You don't explain why. You don't apologize. You just say, I don't work weekends, period. They'll test it once, maybe twice. Then they'll accept it, because consistent boundaries train people how to treat you. Third, avoid the traps. There are psychological traps that undo even the most strategic people. The approval trap. You start winning, and suddenly you need everyone to like you. You soften. You become accommodating. You give away leverage to maintain relationships. Stop. Respect is more valuable than approval. People will respect your boundaries even if they don't like them. But if you sacrifice your boundaries for approval, you lose both. The guilt trap. You start accumulating and feel guilty. You give to people who didn't earn it. You lower your prices for people who can afford them. You justify your success by being generous in ways that deplete you. Stop. Generosity is powerful when strategic, destructive when emotional. Give from abundance, not guilt. Give to people who multiply what you gave them, not to people who consume it and come back for more. The moral trap. You start operating strategically and feel like you're becoming someone you're not. You question whether you're being manipulative, whether you're losing your values. Here's the truth. If you're not hurting people, if you're not lying, if you're simply being strategic about value exchange, you're not doing anything wrong. You're doing what everyone else is already doing. You're just doing it consciously. Machiavelli said, "The man who adapts his course of action to the nature of the times will succeed, and likewise, The man whose course of action clashes with the times will come to grief. The nature of the times is this: value flows to those who understand leverage. Money flows to those who control the narrative. Power flows to those who extract and protect. You're not becoming a bad person, you're becoming an effective one. And effectiveness in a strategic world requires extraction and protection. So here's what you do today. Audit every relationship, every commitment, every recurring obligation. Ask yourself, am I extracting more value than I'm giving, or am I being drained? If you're being drained, cut it, renegotiate it, or walk away. Then audit your boundaries. Where are you saying yes when you should say no? Where are you available when you should be scarce? Where are you giving when you should be withholding? Fix it. Today, not next week, now. Because every day you operate without extraction and protection is another day you're building wealth for someone else. And now we arrive at the climax. The moment where everything I've told you either becomes real or fades into just another thing you learned and didn't use. You've seen the architecture: silence, stillness, patience, leverage, narrative, extraction, protection. These aren't theories, they're weapons. And weapons are useless if you don't deploy them. So let's talk about what happens next, about the transformation, about how you go from where you are now, reactive, emotional, broke, to where you need to be, strategic, controlled, untouchable. This isn't a mindset shift. Mindset is meaningless without mechanics. This is a behavioral overhaul, a daily operational system that rewires how you move through the world. Here's your 90-day blueprint. The next 3 months are going to feel uncomfortable. You're going to want to quit. You're going to feel like you're becoming someone you don't recognize. Good. That's the point. The person you were doesn't get the results you want. Days 1 through 30, silence and stillness training. In every conversation, practice withholding. Count to 5 before responding. Let silences stretch. Stop filling dead air. Stop over-explaining. Stop justifying. Watch what happens when you stop volunteering information. Watch how people start working harder to get answers from you. Watch how they start offering more without you asking. At the same time, train physical stillness. In meetings, on calls, in negotiations, eliminate fidgeting, eliminate nodding, eliminate reactive facial expressions. Become a wall, neutral, unreactive, unreadable. This will feel robotic. That's fine. You're deprogramming years of emotional leakage. Your family will notice. Your friends will ask if something's wrong. Nothing's wrong. You're just not performing for them anymore. You're not filling their need for constant validation and reaction. Let them adjust. By day 30, silence and stillness should feel natural, comfortable, powerful. Days 30 to 1 through 60, leverage building. Pick one system to build, one recurring income stream, one automated process, one thing that creates value without your constant input. This could be a digital product, a service package, an investment vehicle, anything that generates output without linear input. Spend these 30 days building it. Not perfectly, just built, launched, running. At the same time, audit your network. Cut the dead weight, the people who take and don't give, the energy vampires, the time wasters. Delete numbers, unfollow accounts, stop responding to messages. Then, intentionally build 5 new relationships with people positioned above you. Not to ask for anything, just to add value, to build credit, to position yourself in their awareness. Send insights, make introductions, solve small problems. Become useful before you become needy. By day 60, you should have 1 new leverage system running and 5 new high-value relationships built. Days 61 through 90. Narrative and extraction. Rewrite how you present yourself, your pitch, your bio, your positioning. Strip out everything that sounds like everyone else. Rebuild it around transformation, outcome, and inevitability. Test it everywhere, in emails, in pitches, in conversations. Refine based on the response. At the same time, start extracting. Renegotiate at least one existing relationship where you're undervalued. Raise prices. Add terms, reduce availability. Say no to at least 3 opportunities that aren't aligned with where you're going. Feel the discomfort of turning down money, of walking away from sure things. That discomfort is you breaking the scarcity pattern, and protect everything you've built. Set hard boundaries. Stop being available to everyone. Stop giving away your attention for free. Make people earn access to you. By day 90, you should be operating from a completely different position. More leverage, more narrative control, more value extraction, more protection. And here's what happens. People treat you differently. Not because you're different inside, because you're presenting differently, moving differently, operating differently. Opportunities start appearing that didn't exist before. Money starts flowing more easily. Deals close faster. Negotiations tilt in your favor, not because you're lucky, because you've become strategically dangerous. You've become someone who can't be read, can't be rushed, can't be lowballed, can't be manipulated. Someone with leverage, someone with options, someone with power. But you have to commit, fully. No halfway, no dabbling, no trying a little and quitting when it feels uncomfortable. Discomfort is the signal you're doing it right. If it feels easy, you're not changing. If it feels hard, you're growing. Every time you want to fill a silence, don't. Every time you want to explain yourself, don't. Every time you want to say yes to something that doesn't serve you, don't. These small moments of resistance are what build the new you. Machiavelli's final lesson: it must be considered that there is nothing more difficult to carry out, nor more doubtful of success, nor more dangerous to handle, than to initiate a new order of things. You're initiating a new order. Your order, where you control the frame, where you extract value instead of giving it away, where you protect what's yours instead of letting others take it, where you operate from power instead of desperation. The world will resist. People will push back. Some will call you cold. Some will call you calculated. Some will say you've changed. They're right. You have changed. You stopped being the person everyone could predict, extract from, and control. You became the person who controls the interaction. And that makes people uncomfortable. Let them be uncomfortable. Their discomfort is proof you're doing it right. Because comfortable people don't change. Uncomfortable people transform. So here's the final challenge. Drop your 90-day target in the comments right now. What are you building? What system are you creating? What boundary are you setting? What pattern are you breaking? Say it publicly, lock it in, make it real. Because the moment you declare it, you create accountability, you create pressure, you create a standard you now have to meet. And if this video opened your eyes, if you finally see the game for what it is, if you're ready to stop playing fair and start playing to win, hit that like button and subscribe. Because what I just gave you is the foundation, but there's a deeper level. Advanced tactics, psychological frameworks, real-world case studies of how these principles operate in business, negotiation, and wealth building. That content is coming, but only for the people who commit. Only for the people who are serious about transformation, not information collectors, practitioners, people who take what they learn and deploy it immediately, ruthlessly, effectively. So subscribe, turn on notifications, and get ready, because the next level makes this look elementary. The next level is where we break down specific industries, specific negotiations, and specific wealth-building strategies using these exact principles, where we show you how the top 1% actually operates behind closed doors, where we give you the scripts, the frameworks, the exact language that shifts power in your favor. But that's only for the people who prove they're serious, who shows you, who implements, who transforms them. You've been preyed upon your entire life, waking up, working hard, playing by rules no one else follows, watching others rise while you stay stuck, wondering why fairness doesn't pay, why honesty doesn't win, why hard work doesn't guarantee success. Now you know. The game was never about fairness, it was about power. And power comes from leverage, narrative, silence, stillness, patience, extraction, and protection. These 7 principles are the foundation of every fortune, every empire, every untouchable position. Master them, and you don't just change your income, you change your entire position in the world. You stop being the person things happen to. You become the person who makes things happen. You stop reacting to markets, to opportunities, to other people's timelines. You start controlling them. You stop being readable, predictable, and exploitable. You become a mystery, strategy, force. That transformation starts today, right now, with the decision to stop being prey. Drop it in the comments one more time. I'm done being prey. Say it, mean it, become it. Because the world doesn't need more hard workers. It needs more strategic operators, more people who understand the game, more people who refuse to play by broken rules, more people who build leverage instead of trading time, who controls the narrative instead of accepting default stories, those who extract value instead of giving it away, who protects what they build instead of letting it bleed. You're one of them now. Welcome to the game. Now go win it.